The first warning arrived at 3:17 Galactic Standard Time. Commander Hale was standing on the upper deck of Earth's Defense Command when every screen suddenly turned dark blue. A single sentence appeared, written in symbols no human had ever seen. Then the translation came. "You have broken our sleep." For a few seconds, no one in the room moved. The air felt heavy, as if something cold had entered the building. Rian stepped closer to the main monitor. His voice was calm, but his hands were tight. "Source: no known location," the technician replied. It came from outside the mapped galaxy. Rian felt a chill run down his spine. Nothing should exist beyond that region. For thousands of years, it was marked as silent space. No signals, no activity, no life. But tonight it answered. A second line of text flashed onto every panel. "You will pay for the disturbance." Technicians whispered nervously. A few stepped back from their consoles. Even the AI security systems began to malfunction, something Rian had never seen before. He knew exactly what caused this. 2 days ago, a human exploration probe scanned a strange dark zone. The probe signal went deeper than expected, and something there responded. Now that something was awake, a young analyst turned pale. "Sir, whatever sent this message bypassed all firewalls. It entered our system like we had no protection at all." Rian watched the star map as a new red marker appeared, far outside human space. It pulsed slowly like a heartbeat. Another message appeared. Short, cold, we know your location. The defense hall fell silent. Then the final message came, almost gentle. "We are coming." Rian exhaled slowly. Humanity had just made its greatest mistake. Commander Rian did not sleep that night. No one on Earth did. By morning, every major human colony received the same message, the same cold warning, the same promise of destruction. But something new happened too, something far more terrifying. Strange signals appeared across the outer rim. Not ships, not energy signatures, not anything science could explain. They were shadows, moving faster than any known propulsion. Sometimes they flickered on sensors for half a second, sometimes for less. Every time they grew closer. At the Mars Defense Array, Admiral Leora Vance watched the radar repeat a strange reading. "Impossible," she whispered. "Nothing can enter the system without bending space." But the shadow did not bend space. It simply appeared, like it ignored the laws of physics. The technicians tried to track it. They failed. Every attempt returned the same error message. Level unknown. Data restricted by superior intelligence. Rian received the Mars report with a tight jaw. He stood in Earth's war room, surrounded by generals, scientists, and representatives from all colonies. "They're scanning us," Rian said quietly, "learning everything." A young scientist stepped forward, shaking. "Sir, this species, they're not just advanced. They're beyond measurement. They break our systems by simply existing." Before Rian could respond, the war room lights flickered. The temperature dropped suddenly, as if something invisible had passed through the walls. A long alarm blared. "Unknown object entering Sol system." Everyone rushed to the main screen. A dark shape hovered near the Kuiper Belt. It was not a ship. It had no engines, no metal, no visible form. It looked like a moving hole, swallowing starlight. Admiral Vance's voice came through the comms. "It is alive." Rian stared. His heart pounded. The monsters were no longer coming. They were already here. The object near the Kuiper Belt did not move at first. It simply floated in the dark, silent and cold. But every sensor pointed toward it began to fail one by one. Commander Rian watched the live feed. The cameras showed nothing except a strange black blur twisting slowly, as if it was made of liquid shadow. Then something horrifying happened. The blur split open. A long, thin shape unfolded, like a creature stretching after a long sleep. Its body absorbed all light. Even starlight vanished when it touched the thing's surface. No color survived on it. No reflection escaped. Admiral Vance whispered through the comms. "It's not technology, it's biology." The creature extended more limbs, smooth and silent. It didn't flap, swim, or fly. It simply shifted, like darkness choosing a direction. Sensors screamed as the creature flickered, disappearing from one location and reappearing closer to Mars in less than a second. "How can anything move like that?" one officer gasped. "It didn't move," Rian answered softly. "It chose another place to exist." The room fell silent. Suddenly the creature stopped again, this time facing the human fleet orbiting Mars. Though it had no eyes, no mouth, no visible head, everyone watching the feed felt the same thing. It was looking at them, studying them, judging them. A wave of static blasted through every comm channel. A deep vibration echoed in the war room speakers, like a growl inside metal. Then, without warning, the creature sent a message directly into the minds of every human on every colony. "You are weak." Some officers fell to their knees. A few passed out. Alarms echoed everywhere. Rian clenched the table, his vision blurred, but he stayed standing. He whispered to himself, "If that is just one, what else is coming?" Because deep in the star map, new red markers began to appear. Not one, not 10, hundreds, and they were all moving toward human space. The red markers multiplied across the star map until the screen looked infected. Every dot represented another creature, another living shadow drifting toward human borders. The war room went silent except for the soft hum of machines struggling to keep up. Commander Rian forced himself to breathe slowly. Panic would spread fast if he wasn't steady. "Show me their path," he ordered. A projection appeared above the table. Each creature moved with the same unnatural pattern. No curve, no arc, no acceleration. They simply appeared in new places, like they stepped from one point of reality to another, and all of them pointed toward one place: Earth. Admiral Vance's face appeared on the holoscreen, pale but controlled. "Commander, the first creature is approaching our Mars fleet. They're requesting orders." Rian closed his eyes for a moment. He knew what he had to say, even if he hated it. Tell them to hold position. No one fires unless attacked. The Admiral hesitated. "Sir, with respect, that thing isn't just a threat. It's a nightmare." "I know," Rian replied, "but a wrong move might start something we can't end." While the fleet prepared, scientists in Geneva discovered something terrifying. The creatures weren't just moving, they were learning. Every human system, every ship's signature, every defense frequency. The creatures were absorbing it instantly. A scientist ran into the room, breathless. "Commander!" Their intelligence is not growing. It was already fully evolved. "We're not facing animals, we're facing a perfect species." Before Rian could reply, a deep alarm shook the war room. The Mars fleet had made contact. A live feed blinked to life. The creature hovered silently in front of the ships. Its body rippled like liquid darkness, stretching and shrinking without sound. Then it spoke again, this time directly into every pilot's mind. "You cannot stop US." But for the first time, a human answered. Captain Mara Jean of the Mars Vanguard stood firm, her voice clear. "Watch us try." Captain Mara Jean stood on the bridge of the Vanguard, staring at the creature drifting in front of her fleet. It looked calm, too calm, like it already knew the outcome. Her second officer whispered, "Captain, it's studying us again." Mara felt it too, a strange pressure in her mind, like invisible fingers touching her thoughts. But she forced her breathing steady. Humans had fought impossible odds before. "Shields to maximum," she ordered. "All ships hold formation." The creature tilted, as if curious. No eyes, no face, yet it felt alive, deeply aware. Suddenly it vanished. "Where did it go?" a pilot shouted. Before anyone could answer, the entire fleet shook. Alarms wailed as something slammed into the hull of their rear battleship. The creature had reappeared behind them, without any detectable movement. It sliced through metal like water cutting sand. Mara gritted her teeth. "Lock weapons. Fire now!" Dozens of human ships unleashed plasma rounds, laser arcs, and railgun bolts. Bright blue streaks lit up space, crashing into the creature with enough force to vaporize a mountain. Every hit passed through it. The creature flickered, its shape rippling as if amused. Then it spoke again, not with words, but with a wave of pure meaning. You are slow. Half the fleet lost power. Lights dimmed. Systems collapsed. Some pilots screamed as their neural links overloaded with static. Mara slammed her hand on the console. Reroute power. Keep fighting. Another officer yelled, Captain, it's not attacking, it's measuring us. Measuring. Testing. Learning how humans fought. Commander Rian watched from Earth's war room as the battle unfolded. His hands shook. He whispered, This is not a war, this is an evaluation. And just when hope seemed lost, something unexpected happened. A new signal appeared from deep space, human in origin, but it came from a place no human ship should be, far beyond the galaxy's edge. The war room fell silent when the new signal appeared. Every screen flashed white, then settled into a single identifier, one impossible word. Human. Commander Rian stared in disbelief. No human ship has ever traveled that far. Who sent this? But deep inside, he felt something, a spark of hope. The signal expanded, forming an image. It wasn't a battleship. It wasn't a fleet. It was a colossal structure, half station, half warship, floating in dark space like a sleeping giant. Admiral Vance whispered, Is that ours? Before anyone could speak, a calm voice echoed through every human channel. This is Archangel Station. We have returned. Mara Jin's fleet, still fighting near Mars, received the same message. Her eyes widened. Archangel? That project was canceled before I was born, but the creature stopped moving. For the first time, the darkness hesitated. The human signal continued. Strong, steady, unafraid. We have studied what sleeps outside the galaxy. We have learned, and we are ready. The creature near Mars rippled violently, as if sensing a threat for the first time. It turned away from the damaged fleet and stretched itself toward the distant signal, toward Archangel Station. Rian watched the star map as something unbelievable happened. The monsters, all of them, paused. Hundreds of red markers froze in place. Then a final transmission arrived from Archangel. Stand your ground, humanity. You woke them, but you will not face them alone. A roar erupted in the war room, fear transforming into something stronger. Hope, defiance, human spirit. Captain Morrow whispered, So that's why they disappeared. They were preparing for this. Rian stepped forward, eyes hard with determination. Sent a reply. He ordered, What message, sir? Rian looked at the star map, at the shadows, at Archangel, at the future. Tell them, humanity stands ready. The war had not ended, but for the first time, humanity was no longer afraid.